Okay. So, yes, we were talking about the hack driver. So, the topic, the hack driver, is clearly a descriptive one, a story, which is a narrating about a person, right? The hack driver. So, as far as we understood, the hack driver is creating a picture in our mind that a person whose profession is uh, taking people from one place to the other place, right? To specifically, we find out such kind of people standing themselves or for the, you can say that, um, for the people who come out from the railway station, maybe bus stand. And specifically, this hack driver is giving us the picture of rustic area or called as a countryside area, right? It refers to the means such kind of a people are very innocuous in nature, right, or innocence, and um, somehow they're means because of the situation they hold such kind of a profession, right? So here the hack driver is a kind of a story trying to introduce some kind of a humor. At the same time, it tries to give us some kind of a, mystery, suspense. Is not it? I hope you all have all. I hope you all can hear me.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
So let's see that the warm up which is provided here. A young lawyer comes to a village to serve summons on Oliver Lutkins. Now, the story introduces some of the characters. The first character is called as a young lawyer, right? And the second one is indicating as Oliver Lutkins. So, a young lawyer comes to a village to serve summons. What do you mean by summons? Normally, summon is used with the law related, where the means where in any of the case the judge is putting up putting up means a particular paper, right, to call or to appear either the witness or the, you can say that, the accused person, right? So here a young lawyer comes to a village to serve Oliver Lutkins to appear in the court. So the meaning of summons is called as to make someone tell to appear in the court. So a friendly hack driver takes him round the village in search of Lutkins. A friendly hack driver means as a young lawyer comes to a village, so there is a person, right, who is also a hack driver, right, who have that means a hearse with the carriage, along with the carriage. So who is friendly in nature to the young lawyer and taking the young lawyer to help him search the person named Lutkins, right, Oliver Lutkins. So now the question comes out, does the young lawyer succeed to find that person? And who is that Lutkins? Who is that Lutkins? To whom means a young lawyer served the summons, right? Now we will come to know those questions answered. Now, before we read the text, so it gives us some of the ideas. Why is the lawyer sent to New Million? Now, obviously, we draw the idea that the lawyer is sent to New Million for serving or to serve the summon to Lutkins, Oliver Lutkins. That is the first question's answer. As far as you read the warm up. What does he first think about the place? That we cannot draw until unless we read the text. Who befriends him? Where does he take him? What does he say about Lutkins? No, if you read the second one, through the assumption or through the guessing, you can draw the idea. There was a hack driver who becomes or who became a befriend, who became a friend to him, right? So where does he take him? Now he helps the lawyer to find Oliver Lutkins. Now, what does he say about Lutkins? Now that we come to know after reading the text. Let's go for this. After graduating with honors, now who is talking about this? I became a junior assistant clerk in a magnificent law firm. Now we can draw that I means referring to the narrator. The narrator, who was it speaking here? That what? Now he completed his graduates with honors in the subject. So, and he became a junior assistant clerk in a magnificent law firm. Magnificent law firm means that called as a big, renowned, uh, famous law firm in that city where he works as a junior assistant clerk. So I was sent not to prepare legal briefs, but to serve summons like a cheap private detective. Now we do understand that we were talking about the narrator, the speaker is the lawyer, right? So he was saying here that he was sent, it means the farm sent him. Where? Not to prepare legal briefs, not to prepare legal briefs means not to fight the case, not to fight the court case in the court, but to serve summons. But to serve summons means but to uh, give the paper, but to give the paper to a person whose name is called as Oliver Lutkins, right? Like a cheap private detective. So he considers that the way farms sent him to serve summons is nothing but he is doing a job of cheap private detective. I had to go to dirty and shadowy corners of the city to seek out of my victims, right? So where did he go actually? He pointed that he had to go. He had to go to the dirty and shadowy corner. So why it's called as a dirty? Because rural area, right? The condition of the road. So which is picturized or which is informed as a dirty one and shadowy corners of the city, right? Shadowy corners of the city means very far from the city to seek out my victims, right? So victims means what? The people, right, who have been accused or who have been witnessed. Some of the larger and more self-confident ones even bet me up. Now he pointed that sometime it happens while he does this job for which he meets with certain people, right, who are not in a good character, not in a good heart, right? What they do, that they even beat to the lawyer, right? Why they beat to the lawyer? Now because the lawyer does the job of chief private detective, serve the summons, such kind of a work he does, right? Like you can say that sometimes the police officers, right, while doing their job during the midnight or called as a night time or in the daytime, they also meet with some kind of a people who are not in a means well in manner, right? So what they do, they have had a kind of a means conflict, argument. So and means even a kind of a rebel or fight or warfare held between them, and for which the bet tribute to the uh, police officers or maybe means the person who went to serve them the summon or called as a means have had a kind of a discussion, right? The author pointed some of the larger and more self-confident ones even bet me up. I hated this unpleasant work. So the lawyer here found that this job is nothing but unpleasant, not good at all. And the side of city life, it revealed to me, right? Even the city life was means indicating to him was bad also. I even considered fleeing to my hometown. The lawyer also thought to leave city and means inhabited himself in the place called his hometown, where he could have been a real lawyer right away. So if he goes to his hometown, he will be immediately considered as a lawyer and without going through this unpleasant training period. So means what he was doing there in that magnificent law firms, that he was in a training period. And he pointed that he felt this training period in magnificent law firm was nothing but unpleasant something which is not making him happy. So he rejoiced one day. One day, what happened? This is something called as a picture which he described that what he usually does, right? And what does the kind of feeling he presents. So he pointed, one day he rejoiced when they sent me out 40 miles in the country to a town called New Mullion, right? So the farm, magnificent law firm, sent the junior assistant clerk where now sent him out 40 miles from the city, right? So and that place named is called as a New Mullion. To why not to serve summons one of the person named Oliver Lutkins. We needed this man. So why did he go to search that man, Oliver Lutkins? Now, because he pointed, this man is needed as a witness in a law case. So one of the case was going on, and for that case, so this man is needed. And he had ignored all our letters. Then why did he go physically? Now, the lawyer said that he was sent many of the letters. He was sent, means Oliver Lutkins was sent many of the letters. The letter was sent to him means many times, but he ignored all the letters. Therefore, the the law firm sent this person, sent the lawyer to him to identify and means tell him to present in the court. So when I got to New Mullion, my eager expectations of a sweet and simple country village were severely disappointed. So sometime what happened, you felt very happy that you have been sent to out of the city and kind of countryside areas, right? But once you got to that place, so your thought was something different, right? Your eager expectations of a sweet and simple country village, right? So you felt like what it was not the same kind of a country village, right? So that the same thing occurred to the lawyer also, right? He was severely disappointed. Its streets were rivers of mud with rows of wooden shops either painted a sour brown or bare of any paint at all. So means he found that the streets that lead to the village, right? So that were covered with the muds, right? Muddy areas with the rows of wooden shops. So wood shops are means side by side along with the road. Either so those of the shops are either painted with a sour brown or sometimes bare, means naked also, no painting of any paint at all. The only agreeable picture about the place was the delivery man at the station. So he found that one of the thing he found that it's manageable is called as a delivery man at the station, right? Delivery man means somebody who could help you to take you to the exact place, right? With a hearse along with the means cart. He was about 40 years, red-faced, cheerful, and thick about the middle. So it's somehow called as he described the delivery man. So he was 40 years old, so red in face, cheerful, always seeming happy, and thick about the middle, right? So middle-aged and somehow called as a healthy one. His working clothes were dirty and well worn, right? And he had a friendly manner, right? So you felt at once that he liked people. So once you met that person, you feel like what he liked, means he liked people. So, he was talking about the delivery man, and he described, narrated that he was a very innocent and innocuous and gentle person, uh, wearing a dirty and well worn, so well dressed, but dirty in condition, right? So friendly in nature. So that is what means the lawyer described about the delivery man who was present at the station. The author stated, I want, or the narrator, or the speaker, right? I told him to find a man named Oliver Lutkins. So I told him to find a man named Oliver Lutkins. So the lawyer said to whom? The lawyer said to the man, the delivery man. So Lutkins, I saw him around here about an hour ago. Hard fellow to catch though. So it means the delivery man pointed that, like he knew the person Lutkins, and he made a kind of a surprising question mark. Yeah, Lutkins. So he saw that person around here or around there about an hour ago. And he also gave a remark that what he was the kind of a person who was very difficult to catch, though always up to something or the other. So means it's somehow called as he is the kind of a person. So sometime he presents here, so sometime after that he presents somewhere else. He is probably trying to start up a poker game in the back of Fritz's shop. Now, again, the delivery man was giving comments on Lutkins and was telling that he is possibly trying to begin a poker game. Poker game means called as a kind of a gamble, where in the back of Fritz shop. So Fritz shop is the name of the shop, right? A person's shop, right? In the back of it, he was going to start the poker game. I'll tell you, boy, is there any hurry about locating Lutkins? Right. So the delivery man was asking to the lawyer that uh, after giving all these remarks that it's very difficult to catch him, right? Sometime he presents here, sometime there. He is expecting to open a poker game back of Bridge shop, right? So if you want to catch him, then you must not be hurry, right? Or if you are hurry about locating Lutkins, right? Is there any hurry about locating Lutkins? So he asked him, you want him to catch as quickly as possible? So the lawyer here asked, yes, I want to catch the afternoon train back to the city. I was very important and secret about it. So he said that why did he want to meet Oliver Lutkins? Because he had a very important information and secret information that he wanted to deliver. And that's why he said that. And today he's supposed to do that because in afternoon time he had a train and through that he back to the city. So I will tell you what, I have got a hack. I will get it out and we can drive around together and find Lutkins. I know most of the places he hangs out. So through this statement, it seems like the hack driver was very, friendly and also helpful in nature. So that is why why? Because he himself voluntarily, right, from his own side, he stated that he had got a hack. Hack means he had a carriage, right? And he would get it out and he could, they could drive around. They could drive around means they could search the person and find Lutkins. And he also knew most of the places where Lutkins move around or hangs out or called as a spends time. That's what he pointed. That's what he pointed to the lawyer, right? So through this statement, the lawyer felt like means the person, the delivery man was very open and also very friendly, right? And spontaneously, voluntarily, he wanted to help the person. So he was so open and friendly that I glowed with the warmth of his affection. So the lawyer was very much attracted, right? So, and felt also glad. I knew, of course, that he wanted the business. So the lawyer understood that the delivery man wanted to do the business or wanted to get the profit out of it. But his kindness was real. But the way he wanted to help me was true. I was glad. I was so the lawyer was also felt very happy. The fair money would go to this good fellow. So he felt like that what now, even if the man who would do the business with me with this particular purpose, right? But he felt very happy that he was going to spend some money on this good fellow or good person. So he believed that the hack driver was a good fellow. So I managed to bargain down to $2 an hour, right? So how much money the lawyer would have given to this hack driver? Now $2 an hour. So the time he supposed to spend. So per an hour means he would just give $2. So like that, whatever the amount means would be happened based on the time he spent. So based on that, he would give it, right? So, and then he brought from his house nearby a sort of large black box on wheels. Large black box, so which can be called as a means carriage or cart. Then he brought from his house nearby a sort of large black box on wheels. So he remarked, he pointed, well, young man, here is the carriage. And his white smile made me into an old friend. So it seems like he is very friendly, right? And that's what the lawyer liked him and considered him that a friend. These villagers are so ready to help a stranger. So the hack driver, the lawyer believed that he is a villager, and based on that, he considered a generic statement that the villagers are ready to help a stranger, unknown person. He had already made it his own task to find Oliver Lutkins for me. So it's not about that the lawyer's task to find Lutkins, it is the delivery man who, through this statement of helping to the lawyer, right, considered that to search Oliver Lutkins is his job. So that is what means the lawyer believed. He said, I don't want to interfere, young fellow, but my guess is that you want to collect some money from Lutkins. He never pays anybody a cent. He still owes me 50 cents on a poker game. I was fooled. So the delivery man, right, or you can consider that the hack driver, which comments on whom on Oliver Lutkins was like that. So he first made a disclaimer that he did not want to interfere for what reason the lawyer came, right? So, and what was the purpose of the lawyer to meet um, the guy called Oliver Lutkins? But at the same time, means he guessed it or he believed that means the lawyer might have come or search Oliver Lutkins for some money. Why? Now, because Oliver Lutkins is famous for what? Not to pay anybody a cent from whom he owes money, from whom he takes money. He still, so why does he make this comment? He makes this comment because means he still owes him. Means Oliver Lutkins still takes 50 cents from the hack driver for that poker game. And that is why. And I was fool. I was fool enough to play with him. He's not really bad, but it is difficult to make him part with his money. So the hack driver said that how does he lose money from him, right? So and he made a comment also that Oliver Lutkins is not really bad, but it's difficult to make him part with his money. If you try to collect from him in those fancy clothes, he will be suspicious and get away from you, right? So if you want, I will go into fridge and ask for him, and you can keep out of sight behind me. So it shows that the hack driver, right, whose comments on Oliver Lutkins is what? That Oliver Lutkins, specifically people search Oliver Lutkins for money, right? So because he takes money from the people and doesn't give them back, right? Even he tells his own statement also that how does he play poker game with Oliver Lutkins and he loses 50 cents, right? So even he said that the hack driver, that Oliver Lutkins is not really a bad guy, a bad person, but when it comes to money, so it's very difficult to make Oliver Lutkins separate from money. If you try to collect money from him, right? So what will happen? Now in those fancy clubs, so when he observes people in a kind of a dress or in a kind of a appearance, so he doubts. He doubts and he tries to escape from you, right? He escaped from those people, and especially when you wear such kind of a dresses, so he will doubt you and he will try to escape from you. If you want, so that's why he gives the kind of or he offers the kind of a help. He says that if you want, I will go into fridge, right? Because he made a comment that he will be present in fridge shop, right? He will present in fridge shop. So that's why the hack driver said that if you want, means I will go into fridge shop and I will ask for him, right? I will search him. And you can keep out of sight behind me. You can stay behind me and you can observe that. So the lawyer felt very, attracted to that. And he said, I loved him for this. By myself, I never have found Lutkins. With the hack driver's knowing help, right? I was sure of getting my man. So the lawyer felt a kind of a hope and loyal towards the hack driver, as the hack driver himself wanted to help the lawyer. So that is why the hack driver believed that he was sure of getting the man, Oliver Lutkins. I took him into my confidence and told him that I wanted to serve the summon. So now the lawyers told all the truth to whom? The lawyer told the hack driver all the truth. And why did he come to that place? Now he came to serve the summons. Serve the summons to whom? Because the hack driver was taking him into his confidence. And finally, the lawyer told him all the secrets, that he wanted to serve the summons on Lutkins, right? That the man had refused to be a witness. That the man means what? Lutkins refused to be a witness. Whereas Oliver Lutkins' information would have quickly settled our case. It means the case that the farm had taken, that case could be solved immediately if Oliver Lutkins made the information or present in the court and get the information, right? Then quickly the case would be settled. The driver, the hack driver, listened with earnestly. Earnestly means what? With important, right? At the end of it, he hit me on the shoulder and laughed. Right? Who hit me on the shoulder and laughed? Well, we will give Brother Lutkins a little surprise. So it means who? Now, the hack driver hit me on the shoulder and laughed. Right? Well, we will give Brother Lutkins a little surprise. Let's start, driver. So here you would find out that it is this conversation between the lawyer with the driver, and the lawyer who hit means who hit on the shoulder and laughed. Well, we will give Brother Lutkins a little surprise. Let's start. Driver. Most folks around here call me Bill or Magnuson. Right. Most folks means who are the most folks? There are most people who have been called here. Call me Bill or Magnuson. My business is called William Magnuson Fancy Carting and Hacking. Right. So who are the most people here, and who is telling about this? Now here the hack driver who is telling that most people around that place or around the city call whom? Call the hack driver that the Bill or Magnuson, right? And his business, whose business? Now means the hack driver business is what? Now it's called William Magnuson Fancy Carting and Hacking, right? So, all right, Bill, shall we proceed to preach? So, who said? The lawyer said to the means hack driver, whose name is called as a Bill or Magnuson, and whose business is nothing but called as a William Magnuson Fancy Carting and Hacking. Yes, Lutkins is just as likely to be there as anywhere. So, means plays a lot of poker. So, this is what the hack driver made a comment on that Oliver Lutkins. Yes, Lutkins is just as likely to be there as anywhere. So you cannot predict about the person, so who might be present anywhere, who plays a lot of poker, right? He is good at deceiving people. Deceiving people means who he is good at cheating, right? Cheating people. So or means escaping people from one place to the other place. Bill seemed to admire Lutkins. Bill seemed to admire Lutkins. So Bill was attracted, right? So, and who found that means Lutkin is a remarkable person. And talent for what? Talent for dishonesty. Talent for dishonesty means who, betray people, right? So I felt that if he had been a policeman, means normally what happened, here you would find out that Bill observed, Bill knew about Oliver Lutkins a lot. And that's why what Bill did here, the Bill admired Lutkins. And why Bill admired Lutkins? Because of Lutkins' talent of deceiving people. Bill admire Lutkins because Lutkin is nothing but a means talent for dishonesty, plays a lot of poker, right? So I felt that if he had been a policeman, means it's a kind of a imagination that the lawyer realized here that if means Bill became a policeman, or if Bill had been a policeman, he would have caught Lutkins. He had been caught, right? Because he collected a lot of information about him. Beside that, he would jailed him, right? Beside that, he would have caught Lutkins respectfully and jailed him with regret. Now, understand that when it is stated that he would have caught him because he collected a lot of information about Oliver Lutkins. Second is called as he would have jailed him with regret. Why he would have jailed him with regret? Because Lutkin was the person whom he admired the most, right? He liked for his talent of dishonesty, right? Talent of playing lots of poker game, right? That is why. So Bill led me into fridge. Have you seen Oliver Lutkins around today? Friend of his looking for him, Bill said cheerfully, right? So Bill went to the fridge shop, and where uh, he talked to, or he asked to one of the person, have you seen Oliver Lutkins around today? Friend of his looking for him, Bill cheerily said to the fridge. So Fritz looked at him, looked at me, looked at the lawyer, right, hiding behind Bill. So because Bill was telling him, no, or Bill told him that what, now while I was inquiring about Oliver Lutkins, you should means stay behind me and look at that. So Fritz look at means who? Look at the lawyer who was hiding behind Bill. He hesitated and then admitted. He hesitated means Fridge. Fridge hesitated. Fridge hesitated means not interested to tell the answer, and then admitted, yes, he was in here a little while ago. Guess he has gone over to Gustav's to get a share. Now, Fridge made a comment that Oliver Lutkins was present there a little while ago, and Fridge believed that means Oliver Lutkin had been gone over to Gustav's to get a share. So he went to somewhere else, right? Like Bill's comment that it's very hard to catch whom means Oliver Lutkins, because sometime he present here, sometime he present there, right? Well, if he comes in, tell him I'm looking for him. So Bill also made a comment to Fridge that what if he comes there, then tell him that Bill is looking for him. So we drove to Gustav's barber shop, right? Again, Bill went in first, and I lingered at the door, right? So the lawyer was hidden himself and looking at the door. He asked not only the sweat, but two customers if they had seen Lutkins or not. Who? Means the Bill, or the person Bill, or the hack driver Bill, who asked not only the sweat, right, or but other two customers whether they had seen Lutkins or not. The sweat had not. The sweat had not, he said angrily, right? I have not seen him and I don't care to. So who said that? The two of the customers and the sweat. But if you find him, you can just collect that $35 he owes me, right? One of the customers thought he had seen Lutkins walking down Main Street, this side of the hotel. Now imagine that. First they went to Fridge shop. Fridge shop directed him to the where that's called as a Gustav's barber shop. So where means Bill or the hack driver met to the whom so the person Sweat and also other two customers. So Sweat shouted loudly and said that what I did not see him, and if you find him, so tell him to give back my $35 that he owes me, right? One of the customers even give the comment that he had seen him walking down to the Main Street, this side of the hotel. So as we climbed back into the hack, right, Bill concluded that. So when they again went to the that hack, so Bill concluded, or Bill made us the concluding remark to the lawyer that since Lutkins had spent all his credit at Gustav's, he had probably gone to Grace for a share, right? So now he did not attend Gustav's share because he had made a much credit in Gustav's shop. So that's why instead of going to Gustav's shop, he went to Grace's shop for a share. At Grace's barber shop, we missed Lutkins by only 5 minutes. He had just left, right? Probably for the pull room. Right. Again, what happened at Grace's barber shop, they missed Lutkins by only 5 minutes. So 5 minutes ago, right, he was present, and 5 minutes after he left that place. He had just left, probably for the pool room. So at the pool room, it appeared that he had just bought a pack of cigarettes and gone out. So we pursued him. So it seemed like what the lawyer and the hack driver or the bill, right? So went for him one place to the other place continuously, right? Tried to catch him, just behind him, but never catching him, right? For an hour till it was past 1 o'clock. So like this way, it came 1 o'clock. It was the lawyer was hungry, but the lawyer had so enjoyed with the hack driver or Bill's rough country. Rough country means that the place where he moved, and had idea about the rough country opinions about his neighbors, that I hardly care whether I found Lutkins or not. So the lawyer did not care about Lutkins. So the lawyer was enjoying the times that he spent with Bill, the hack driver, right? So now finally what happened? How about something to eat, right? Finally, the lawyer suggested whom? Finally, the lawyer suggested to the hack driver or Bill that he felt hungry. No, let's go to a restaurant and I will buy you lunch. So here means the lawyer offered him to buy him a lunch, buy him to have the lunch. Well, I ought to go home to the wife, right? But Bill here means suggested him to go to home to the wife, and he didn't care much for these restaurants. So he believed that what these restaurant people are taking much money, right? Only four of them, and they are all bad, right? So tell you what we will do. We will get the wife to pack up a lunch for us. She won't charge you more than $0.50. And it would cost you more for a greasy meal in a restaurant. So greasy means that called as a rough junk, right? So not a healthy, unhealthy meal in a restaurant. And we will go up to Waits Hill. Waits Hill means that's called as a mountainous area, and enjoy the view while we eat it. Right. Now, this is the idea Bill had made, and Bill pointed the same to whom? Bill pointed the same to the lawyer, that they're supposed to have that food together. So if they go to the place, his home, where his wife would make it, and his wife won't take half a dollar for the charge of that meal, and they would find that meal better than the greasy meal of restaurant, and they would eat it where? Now Waits Hill, where they enjoy the view while they eat the food, right? Up to this. So this gives us the first part where we introduce the couple of characters, but the main character here we draw is called as the lawyer and the hack driver, whose name is Bill, and how both met together and searching for Oliver Lutkins in the place like countryside areas, right? So I hope you understood so far. Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay, the half of the portion is still there, and I think this we will continue in the next class. So the next class we will cover this. And